greets, opponents at Christmas, says, "We are one," as Governor Zulum asks Borno Christians to pray for peaceful general election. And later on, we'll share this with you. Peter Obi spends Christmas with, Benue IDPs, just as Governor Autumn says he has capacity to deliver Nigeria from her challenges. But let's say I'm hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otitoju, BKO, I greet you. Good evening.
Good evening, citizen.
Happy holiday. And Adewale Adeoye has joined us. Happy holiday too.
Happy holiday to you.
Now the team is ready. I hope you are. All right, let's go. For those gallant men and women who risk their lives to protect our freedom, it's a selfless act of valor, and they deserve our collective gratitude. The Director of Public Relations and Information, Nigerian Air Force, NAF Headquarters, Abuja, Air Commodore Edward Gabwet, he says the force has killed more than 100 terrorists, including some of their leaders, in an airstrike on the 20th of December in Borno State. Operation Harding Kai members achieved this feat at Mantari village in Gezuwa General Area. I hope I got that right. Bama local government area. Now, some of the neutralized terrorist kingpins include Khalid Tukur, Menasira, and Bakuru Toga. The attack, painstaking, is winnable. Jide, the war is winnable.
Yes, we are winning it, especially in the northeast. We are in a much better place now. This set of service chiefs and the officers and men have done a tremendous job. Gone are the days when some terrorists can gather gun trucks and go to an army base to intimidate our soldiers. If they try it now, they are going to be detected, and the Air Force will move in with its air platforms to fry them. It's not the way it used to be. And I'm particularly happy because both service chiefs were in Maiduguri yesterday, and they promoted their soldiers on the spot.
Okay.
This is quite unusual. On the spot, soldiers, air ratings, airmen who had demonstrated valor over time were promoted on the spot. The officers then got commendation. Even somebody, the warrant officer who was promoted not long ago, got another promotion yesterday. And because these soldiers and officers are seeing these service chiefs working in tandem, their men are prepared to give their best. Every time their men see them together, it deepens the unity and the sense of purposefulness within the armed forces. We've never had it this good. And there's a lot that you can achieve when you are working together.
Yeah.
The Chief of Air Staff is of the regular course 35. The Chief of Army Staff is of the regular course 37. In spite of that, the respect that the Chief of... they are not contemporaries. They are not. 37 and 35. They are, yes, they are not mates. In spite of that, the Chief of Air Staff has tremendous respect for the Chief of Army Staff, who, by nature of the time they entered the armed forces, is his senior. You know, he has respect for him. Yes, and the respect is mutual.
Yeah.
And that's why you see them together, they're working together, they are focused, and they're achieving their goals, especially in the Northeast. In the past, we used to report another army base has been breached by these guys. It's no longer happening. When was the last time that Boko Haram invaded an army base? And by extension, our people are better protected. The governor of Borno State told me that this year, that in terms of the yield that they got from the farms, that in a long time, they've never had that kind of success.
Less pressure on farmers.
Yes, because, you know, in Borno State, they have these agro rangers that protect farmers. Then we have the armed forces doing a much better job than before in terms of protecting our people. So people can go to their farms more than they were able to do some years back. So in terms of harvest, it's bountiful. We can still do better, you know, but at least the governor can testify that this is much better than previous year, at least the last 3 years since he's been governor. So I'm really happy that we are seeing progress. The Tucanos were involved in this operation as we would have expected, and these boys were dealt with. This happened just before Christmas, but they needed the DSS to confirm the presence of some of these kingpins before the Air Force could go to town to say, oh, look, these are the commanders of the terrorists who were involved. This attack had happened, this operation had happened like the 20th and 21st.
Yeah, Wale, you know, things like this will make one remember the statement credited to the former British Prime Minister. Never in the annals of human history was so much owed by so many to so few.
Well, a lot of Nigerians may not appreciate the sacrifices that the soldiers are making. But as we are in our homes, celebrating Christmas, eating and drinking, some people don't have that layer. They left their children, their wives, their loved ones, they are on the battlefield, waiting to kill in self-defense or waiting to be killed. So, like Babajide said, I'm glad that the Chief of Air Staff and the Chief of Army Staff, on that Sunday, Christmas Day, they were there, not sitting down in their homes drinking wine, but right on the battlefield to share the moments, you know, the take and the thing with the frontline men. And from the report we have seen, if this had not happened, the ISWAP operatives, the Boko Haram, they were about to carry out a major operation. So they had gathered with their truck and were about to advance when they were located. And through intelligence sharing of reports, the Air Force ensured there was almost zero casualty on part of civilians. So they were able to zero in on the terrorists and attack them. And while they were killed, they reinforced, hoping to come back and take away the dead bodies. Then that gave the Air Force another opportunity
to finish
them. So I think it's a very significant feat. If this had not happened, perhaps many homes would be shedding tears by now, because the Chief of Army Staff confirmed that they had planned to carry out a moment, and we know it is characteristic of them. Don't forget that 2013, 2014, Bama was headquarters of Boko Haram. It's a very large place, about 4,997 square kilometers, bigger than Lagos, and shares border with Cameroon. So it was the headquarters for a very long time, but now that is not happening. So a lot of people can now live in Bama and, cherish the old tradition and history.
And of
that,
course, the fear about farm yields will not be there anymore.
It will not be there. So I think we should not forget that what the terrorists are doing in Borno is very painful, because that's one of the centers of civilization of Africa. If you remember the El Borno empire that extended out to southern Libya, since the 13th century, it has been an historical town. So people just came and wanted to demolish the old civilization. So I'm glad that we may be moving slowly, but we are not moving backward. So I think we are really achieving a lot of gains.
Essentially, we can say the war is winnable.
Yeah.
All right, then let's go to our next story. Drug addiction and substance abuse are twin, afflictions of the youth and the addicted, and of course, have dire consequences. The government agency in charge of drug policy and control is the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. The agency has happily intercepted consignments of a dangerous addictive substance known as Colorado. Now, Colorado is a street lingo for the synthetic cocktail of psychotropic drugs concealed in vehicles imported from Montreal, Canada, at the Tinkan Island port in Apapa and at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos. NDLEA spokesman Femi Babafemi said the drugs were concealed in packs of cannabis, cannabis juice, and were flown in from South Africa. Two dock workers, Abdul Rashid, Abdul Razak, are in the NDLEA custody. We are in deep trouble, Wale. We're in deep trouble.
I think one thing we cannot run away is the fact that there has been a kind of paradigm shift in the past few months or years that Marwa took over that leadership. They imported these items, put them in containers. They said there were 2 cars there, but 3 cars, but eventually there were 2 with spare parts. Coming from Montreal in Canada. One significant thing is that those things, the drugs were not discovered by the Canadian intelligence, in spite of the sophistication. But in Nigeria, we were able to discover them. So I think I say kudos to the intelligence network of the new NDLEA under Marwa. I think he has been doing a lot of good jobs. Between January and the first 6 months of this year, drugs that were seized were in the range of about 6 billion. You can imagine if that they have succeeded. Naira. Yeah, 6 billion naira. In fact, in Cross River alone, for about 10 months, about 200 million worth of drugs. So I think the NDLEA under Marwa, in fact, I'm impressed. But I'm not surprised. When he was governor of Lagos State here, you can remember his program for the area boys. Employed them. They were sweeping, planting trees in Alausa and all that. So I think this man, he deserves an award from Nigerians. NDLEA is doing an excellent job. And I think it's a big plus. Because drug is not something that is good for any society. It causes, hallucination, affects the liver, diminishes the potentials, of people, and destroy the future of our children. So we need to fight drugs with all the strength that we have. So I say kudos to NDLEA, and I hope they will do more in the coming year.
Okay, there's room for more. At the time, Nigeria was considered a transit camp. We are no longer a transit camp. We are neck deep in it. So, as I said, kudos to Marwa. But we can go further. We go after the barons and so on.
Yes. No,
it's possible.
We are getting hold of the barons already. Some are on trial. And the man behind the massive importation of tramadol.
Okay, yeah.
Is on trial. There was another one that was linked with even the drug that was brought into our country that led to the arrest of the most decorated policeman in Nigerian history, Abba Kyari. So they've been going after these barons, and some of them are even losing their homes, because once you are arrested, the NDLEA will get hold of your properties and get a court order for you to have them forfeited. The whole idea is so that when you come out of jail, you can't fall back on the process of crime. You can't fall back on the process of crime to say, okay, let me begin to pick up the pieces of my life once again. All those things, the money that you made from crime, houses that you built with it, you lose. That way, you will not have any reward that you can hold on to for indulging in this kind of crime that destroys the lives of our young people. It's been a massive 12 months for the NDLA.
Yeah.
So many achievements have been recorded. And you ask yourself, did we not have NDLA before now? How come with the same staff, he didn't bring in his own staff? He inherited the staff. Yet, the staff are better motivated, they are better galvanized to deliver the goods.
So,
it has to do with the leader. Yes.
The word is leadership.
When you can see that your leader has exemplary conduct, when you can see that your leader will not condone bad behavior, abhorrent behavior, you know that you have to align. And I asked him, when I interviewed him, I said, what did you say to them on your first day? He said he didn't say anything extraordinary. And he didn't bring in his own staff. He just promised them that, look, you have my support. You give your best, you'll be rewarded. Some of those men have been killed by barons. They told me that they've lost some of their men. It's not easy to go after people who have the capacity to own up to 10 houses in Banana Islands, houses in Lekki and other places. People bringing in drugs valued in excess of 10 billion. They are not small fries in the society. They can go to great lengths to cover the crimes that they commit. But the NDLA operatives will be offered money, the kind of money that I once described as life-changing money. Yet we've seen them refuse to be compromised and fully focused on making sure that we defeat illicit drug addiction in our country. We are still a transit camp. I mean, a transit destination. At the same time, we are a nation of big consumers of narcotic drugs. It's a big problem. Okay, cannabis, for example, is the only one of those drugs of cannabis. Sometimes you ask yourself, is it that this thing has been legalized? Well, it's not been legalized. And people have suggested to NDLA, maybe we should be legal, and the NDLA is saying no. If it is this bad, even when they've not legalized it, you can imagine what will happen once it is legalized. I don't know if you saw the video of one rat that went viral.
Okay.
The rat was found in one of the offices of the NDLA. It apparently had consumed some portions of cannabis. And then it began to twist, At one spot, it was doing these 360 degrees, and it wouldn't stop. And I'm like, so even for animals, you can imagine the kind of impact. Some portions of cannabis, and it began to just twist.
To a human being.
Very swift 360 degree turn like that, and it was doing it with so much speed. So I just hope that Marwa and his people will sustain the momentum, because at the rate at which they are going, the successes are glaring. We just hope that momentum will be maintained.
Well, quickly, it would mean to me, I may be wrong, that pre-inspection exercises have improved.
Yeah, definitely. Not just pre-shipment. Shipment. I think they have also increased the intelligence network, so they are able to know that this, container, they get information that, they need to give special attention to particular containers. So the intelligence network, I think, is quite impressive.
Yes, they told me that that massive haul that they had the other day, they actually came through the waterways. Yet they got that information and we are waiting for them.
So it is possible, as they were always saying.
All it takes is for us to be focused, on our goal.
All right, to our next story. Let's talk raw politics now. You know, on this special day, I stretch forth my fraternal affection and great joy to Christians and all who join in celebrating the birth of Christ. These are the felicitations of presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a practicing Muslim, if you ask me. This is to political opponents at Christmas time. This gesture brings to mind the Second Republic when a prominent northern politician, Alhaji Waziri Ibrahim, became the apostle of politics without bitterness. In the same vein, Borno State Governor Professor Babagana Zulum has felicitated with Christians in his domain while urging them to offer special prayers to God for peace to reign during the coming elections. Jide, if you pray, then you must be ready to do those things that would engender peace.
Yes, I think that Tinubu reaching out in this manner to greet the other competitors is a significant gesture, because this contest has been characterized by so much bad blood, name calling. I've never seen an electoral season as charged as this one. The insults being hurled at one another. You know, when these politicians engage so-called spokespersons, all they do is simply go on TV to abuse people.
Yeah.
I mean, that is not the essence of your job. Your job is to go out there and show to the viewers, show to the Nigerian people what your candidate has got in store, not to simply be abusing people. And we are seeing people to go on TV also directly abusing politicians.
For no just
For no reason. You can criticize a politician, but going as far, a TV person, going as far as saying that a politician is insane, I mean, it's you who is insane. That is abusing the privilege that you have. You are making the atmosphere charged. You are heating up the polity unnecessarily.
Yeah.
But on the occasion of the Christmas, one politician has come out to say, look, let's not forget, we are one people. No matter
Jide, now let's hear the way he put it. This is the way the APC presidential candidate put it. Please watch on.
On this special day, I stretched forth my hand in fraternal affection and great joy to Christians and all who joins in celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. Christmas is a period of spiritual uplift as both Christian and non-Christian are moved to reflect upon God's love for mankind and what truly it means to love your God, your neighbor, and yourself. I say Merry Christmas to the farmer, the student, the laborer, the artisan, the all professionals, the entertainer, the teacher, the police officers, the market woman, the soldier, and to all Nigerians. I also extend my wishes for a good, happy Christmas to my political opponent also. No matter our political differences, we are all Nigerians and we must move this nation forward. Therefore, let your hope symbolized by this season of celebration also herald our renewed hope in the Nigerian of our dreams. May the joy and the great gift of Christmas be the renewed hope that we can and will forge a better Nigeria with the help and guidance of Almighty God above. May God bless Nigeria, bless you. Merry Christmas to all of you.
My brother, my sister, do you know that winning an election is not only about getting the majority vote? For that your candidate to be declared winner of the election, he or she must secure 25% of the vote in 2/3 of all states plus the FCT to be president, and 25% of the vote in 2/3 of all local governments of a state to be governor. This is constitutional, and every presidential candidate has had to pass this threshold. Even governors have had to make this mark to get elected in their states. We live in one country with different languages, religions, and ethnic groups. This is why it is not enough to have only northern votes, or southern votes, or eastern votes, or western votes. The only way to get elected as president or governor is by gaining enough support across the country and states. Let us make sure that we know now so that we don't cause an issue tomorrow. This message is brought to you by the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO.
It's a new dawn for Nigeria. Oh, better days are coming. Better days that gives us hope and strength. Bola Tinubu is determined to keep this hope alive, bring the smiles back to all Nigerians.
It's a new dawn in Nigeria. Renewed hope beckons on our people. The silver lining dots the skies. The firmament portents a bright future as the people of Nigeria move to vote a man whom they have come to trust for the realization. That man is Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. He has been tested. He can be trusted. Vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as President of Nigeria 2023. Vote Kashim Shettima as Vice President. Vote APC. Surely with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the smiles are returning. We are close to home.
Bring the smiles back to all Nigerians.
Mr. President approved the excess food loan, which was to be refunded over a 20-year period, 340 billion. He approved the budget support facility, and this is for every state, 310 billion. Paris Club refund 2.67 billion US dollars to all states. The SIFTES, which is the State Fiscal Transparency and Accountability and Sustainability Program, funded by the World Bank, 750 billion. And then the withdrawal from the ECA for support of fuel subsidy, which is 600 billion.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
This place will have a recreational park that is designed to make life comfortable. Wellness is key, and we're putting this place that will help people to, keep up on their health where they go burn their fat. And the timeline for this project is estimated to start and end within 18 months. But however, it starts in phases. The first phase is to get this place secured and gated, which is done.
Mowe is a growing city, and if you are very, very smart, then you realize that the Lagos-Ibadan expressway that is being developed is going to throw Mowe open furthermore.
People that have gone ahead of us have great investment here. And even way in the 90s, even before we talked about coming here. So I think it's a good idea, Iderade coming here.
The chairman, Zamfara State APC Gubernatorial Campaign Council for the re-election of His Excellency Governor Bello Muhammad MON, Matawallan Maradin Shatiman Dolar Usmaniya, His Excellency Honorable Abdulaziz Yara Abubakar Shatiman Zamfara, and former Governor Zamfara State cordially invite all APC members, stakeholders, and supporters in Zamfara State to the flag-off of Zamfara State Gubernatorial Campaign, scheduled as follows. Date, Tuesday, 27 December 2022. Venue, Kauran Namoda Township Stadium, along Shinkafi Road, Kauran Namoda, Zamfara State. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Announcer, Honorable Ibrahim Megandi, Malikin Gidan Goga, Director, Publicity Directorate for the Campaign Council.
Never.
All right. Wale, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, like a father figure, has greeted everybody. is a practicing Muslim, but identifies with the Christian festivities and so on. A presidential candidate is a father figure. Your language is important.
Yeah. I think this is quite impressive at this moment. I listened to the mayored words and the choice of words. It's a statement that is targeting, an effort to unite Nigerians, to give us hope that we are one people, irrespective of our differences. They know our ways, and so there is. And if you read the Quran very well, there was nowhere where Jesus Christ was maligned. If you read the Bible, there is no way where they maligned other religions. So what is our problem? That we want to be the one to fight for God. We want to be the one to. Is there any politician that will say that because you are a Christian, don't vote for me, or because you are a Muslim, don't vote for me? Even traditional worshippers, you cannot say they should not vote for you because you don't believe in their religion. So I think that statement coming at this time is quite inspiring, and I think our media people should learn a lot. Journalists should set agenda,
and they are handlers too. They are
handlers. Even though people we believe may have been settled, but the agenda is to promote unity. It's not your responsibility to be abusing, aspirants and be even publishing lies consciously. Plays significant role in destroying those countries. And many of them were brought to justice in post-conflict era. So we need to be very careful because what we are saying on air, there are records being taken. When you just convert your platform to certain agenda that destroy presidential candidates, publish lies, propaganda, and each time you need to apologize and all that, it's not fair. That's not journalism. That is not journalism. It's more or less like media terrorism. And we need to be very careful because millions of people all over the world are watching. Your own is to present all the aspirants, ask them questions, and then it's not responsible to be telling us that people must not vote for this one is bad, this one is a thief. That's not the responsibility of journalists.
Even coming on here to call somebody, I don't even think the NBC is doing this work well. Because some of the intemperate language that I see, such people need to be called to order.
Yeah.
You can't, a politician who has not been convicted, has never been put on trial, you call him a thief. Just because
Nigeria that you have big people owning media outfits. In Nigeria, the media owners are supposed to be restrained.
Yes, but it is the practitioners that are the issue now, not the because it's the practitioners who are the faces of the media entities.
That's it.
Not the owners. People do not even know who the owners are. But you that you are coming on air, even if you don't have any form of training, you should not leave people without any doubt that you have no training at all by the sort of things that you say on air. No, this election will come and go. But Nigerians will see some of us journalists for who we truly are. People who have no restraint, people who are moral midgets, people who simply think that because they can open their mouth wide, then they can say whatever they like. It makes no sense. This is the season when Nigerians should come together, see themselves as one. And I'm happy that the governor of Borno State is also amplifying that same message. Look, in Borno State, you find some families where there are Christians and there are Muslims. You go to places like Goza, for example, they have a good number of Christians, a good number of Muslims. In the same family, they are cohabiting. The senator representing them, Senator Alindume, there are some Christians in his family. He is Muslim. So that's the way it is. What are we going to do about that? We can't begin to slaughter one another because our religions are not the same. In any case, these religions, there is even a thin line that divides these religions. They originate from the same part of the world. I'm talking about Christianity and Islam. They both came from the same part of the world. And there are many things that show some level of even agreement in terms of the doctrinal agreement between the religions. You talk about some prophets. Those prophets are present in both Islam and Christianity.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, you know. So this is the season when we really need to calm down, use our brains sometimes when we are pushed to use our intuition, and know that we have no reason in the world to set our country ablaze just because you are privileged to sit in a TV studio. You now have an exaggerated impression of yourself. You think that it is you who has the latitude to abuse people, call people names. I mean, this shouldn't be what this season is about. We should be guiding Nigerians, chaperoning Nigerians to make informed choices about who their next set of leaders should be. We should be guiding them, not simply to be opening our mouths wide and saying absolute rubbish in the name of TV punditry or what is it called. People are watching us and asking themselves, what's wrong with today's journalists? People who are birds of passage should not come into our profession because they are birds of passage and now destroy it.
Yeah.
People who had no business in their early life, who had no plan in their early lives to become journalists, for lack of something else to do, cannot suddenly become journalists and then think that the profession should be signposted by their own whims and caprices. I mean, it makes no sense.
Well, and the journalist wasn't taught to lead. You don't say leading things.
Yeah.
You moderate. You help
provide alternatives.
Yeah.
Provide dialectics of choices.
Yes.
You know, that is our training. And like Babangida said, we know ourselves. We know those that are journalists, you know, trained,
and the best of passage,
who are part of NUJ. We know those that are just passers-by, who are just fronts for political elements. So in journalism, the training is that if you are in doubt, leave out. Because your credibility is at stake.
Yeah.
I cannot just come and say here that, oh, this person is a criminal. I don't have the evidence. Even when I have the evidence, I will still call and investigate. But you now want to turn yourself to the capone of Nigerian media, forgetting that there are people. Nigerian media has a rich history from 1859, the times of against military rule, against colonialism. So we have paid our dues, with a lot of decency and with a lot of decorum. And we don't want some people to come and destroy our legacy.
Into our profession and then destroy it.
So we need to, be very careful.
And the regulator is watching.
Yeah.
The
regulator needs to do a lot more. There's nothing wrong in the regulator walking into a studio and bouncing an individual who comes on air to say things that can set our country ablaze. The regulator has that responsibility. Walk into that studio and bounce that fellow.
And sometimes you wonder if Nigerians are looking for stars on radio and TV. They want the broadcaster or the journalist to live life by their own
standards.
Standards. It cannot work. It can't work. I don't want to be anybody's star. Let me be me.
That's why the late Diego Armando Maradona said, "Train your children the way you deem fit." I don't want anybody's son to imitate me, because he knows that he wasn't a moral giant. He said, train your children. They don't need to copy the things that I do. So we are a man at that age who will be doing belly slide. He was coach of Argentina, and then they scored a goal. And as big as he was at that age, he then went on a belly slide.
When they have this, they are talking about this Muslim ticket. It's not our responsibility to begin to fan it. because we'll be promoting violence. It's the responsibility of the voters to make their choice. Whether it is pagan, let voters go
what
and
I said.
it's not our responsibility to say that, this will divide Nigeria. You are promoting violence.
See, that was
let
what I said.
Voters go and make their choice. And
the person who decided to go for Muslim, I said it on this program, I said, it's not as if I'm happy with that choice. If I say I'm happy with it, I'm lying. You know? Because it looked to me at that time like, oh, this is insensitive. But the person who took that decision believes that that is the best way he can win.
Yeah.
If he thinks that's the best way he can win, what is my own to come and say, no, you shouldn't do that? Oh, if he doesn't win.
Have you a stake in it?
I don't even understand. He wants to win. He thinks that's the best way he can win. So, good luck to him. Now, the end will justify the means. Yeah. The end will prove whether his decision was right. You know? So, it's not. I will not sit here and then be saying, oh, we shouldn't. What is religion? At best, should be even left out of our national affairs.
After all, I remember people would say maybe then it didn't matter. A Muslim ruled Lagos, so we leave that.
Christian ruled Nigeria for years. And Gawan.
Yeah, Awolowo and Akintola.
Yes.
Awolowo and Akintola, they were both Christians. You know, Akintola was Baptist, Awo was Anglican. So,
all right, so we'll go on a commercial break. We'll be back to take it home. Please stay with us.
Everyone has a Chivita this season. What's your Chivita?
The River Basin Development Authorities are key to our development. Since 2016, in February 2016, I set up a committee to bring out a revitalization plan, and that we have done. We have restructured, we have developed a blueprint, we have restructured the management, and we have restored agricultural extension services. And now we are working in line with a decision that was made in 2008 to partially commercialize the river basin that was also abandoned. We have brought back, we're taking that decision and working with the National Council of Privatization. We are working to get some of these river basins to be partially commercialized.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The chairman, Zamfara State APC Gubernatorial Campaign Council for the re-election of His Excellency Governor Bello Muhammad MON, Matawallan Maradin Shetiman Dolar Usmaniya, His Excellency Honorable Abdulaziz Yara Abubakar Shetiman Zamfara, and former Governor Zamfara State cordially invite all APC members, stakeholders, and supporters in Zamfara State to the flag-off of Zamfara State Gubernatorial Campaign, scheduled as follows. Date: Tuesday, 27 December 2022. Venue: Kauran Namoda Township Stadium along Shinkafi Road, Kauran Namoda, Zamfara State. Time: 10 a.m. prompt. Announcer: Honorable Ibrahim Megandi, Malikin Gidan Goga, Director, Publicity Directorate for the Campaign Council.
Is it as important as the day you discovered that self-love is the start of good life? Here is a comfort that your self-love Iderade. Transit into your serenity. The opportunity awaits you on this peace of mind as you pay in installments of 24 months with initial deposit of 500,000 naira. Serenity at its finest.
Life is self-expression in your own space, in your own way. And when you've got your whole life ahead of you, your style simply becomes your attitude. And at the right time, you step out to bring more of you right into your space. Welcome to the world of Vento Furniture.
Season's greetings. Think home. Think Vento Furniture.
All right, welcome back. Now let's take it home, but then we discuss more politics. You know, the presidential flag bearer of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, was in Benue State visiting with the Benue State Chief Executive Samuel Ortom. Mr. Obi seized the moment by spending Christmas with internally displaced persons, IDPs, there. Now, Governor Ortom extolled the praise of his august visitor and urged Nigerians to vote for the Labour Party because Obi has the capacity to deliver Nigeria from her challenges. Now, to the Benue State leader, by visiting the IDPs at their camps, Obi has shown capacity, faith, and hope, and is therefore the best man for the job. Yeah, this is a PDP man.
Yes, that's Ortom.
Ortom, yeah.
That's not his first time that he's speaking in this manner. Remember the apogee of the flooding crisis that we had.
Okay.
You know, Obi went to the Benue State to see the victims of flooding, and he actually rode a canoe to see them. Many people were quite impressed by that gesture, because when you show struggling or suffering people that you are with them, it sits with them for much longer than you can imagine, and they will think that, yeah, this person identifies with us. They would also show their support. So what Obi has done is just similar to what Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu did when he went to Gwari in the night. Gwari is the most dangerous part of Kaduna State, you know, sharing border with Niger State. You know, so many soldiers have been killed in that area. So many innocent civilians have been killed. But he went there, and the emir said, "You are the first presidential candidate to come and see us here." That shows courage, you know. So I would like to commend Peter Obi for what he did, and I also think that Peter Obi sees Benue as a swing state. He sees Benue in play, and he thinks that Benue is a state that he can win, because he's gone there a number of times now. He's had rallies there. I think he sees Benue as being in play at this time, and he would want Benue to switch to his column. That's why he's targeting that state. And some of the positive remarks that the governor of Benue State, Ortom, has made about him must have also encouraged him.
Yeah.
And that's why many people are saying the G5 governors are divided over who to support among the presidential candidates. Since they've made up their minds that they don't want to support Atiku, who is the presidential candidate of their party, the PDP, or people are saying they are divided, the governors are divided. It is the kind of positive comments being made by someone like Ortom, who is usually described as our leader by Wike, because he's the oldest of them all.
Okay.
You know,
Leader of the G5.
Yes, is that kind of is such comments that make people to think that they won't have unanimity in terms of who to give their support to among those presidential candidates. What Wike said in January, he will make his decision known. Maybe Ortom may support Obi. No one knows. But Benue is a state that have so many IDPs. They have more than 2.5 million IDPs at this time. They have 10 official IDP camps and 14 unofficial IDP camps. A lot of those IDPs, they lost their homes due to herdsmen attacks. A good number of them, farmers chased away from their communities. And then, of course, this flooding that happened, some of them lost their homes, and they are now reliant on government and private individuals and NGOs for support.
Yeah. Wale, you know, I cannot stop talking about Second Republic politics. Don't call me old school, because I recall Mr. X, a governor, X of politician, Y is coming to town.
Yeah.
You want to hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
What comes out of the politician is key. The language.
Yeah. Yeah. In those days, even though some of us were in secondary school, were so eager, 83, 79, to listen to Awo or Zik or Waziri Ibrahim or GNPP.
This is Zero too.
Or even Shagari, because we are going there to listen to the beautiful words. And then we go back and they will start writing some of them down. And at that time, they were talking about principles. They were talking about programs. I think the 5 cardinal points of UPN at that time.
That's it.
MPN was the slogan, one nation, one destiny. So I think the content at that time was very rich, richer than what we have today. But I think it's a reflection of the moral values that has declined over the years.
Do we deserve the politicians we are throwing up now?
Well, they could not have been different. But I also think there are efforts to change the narrative, and I think the media should also help to propel those aspects. Like we are talking about the statement of Ashwaju now. That is something we can take from, the dark, the cloud. We are talking about what Obi has just done, going to IDP camps, even give them 3 million. It shows that hope is not lost. We can still bring back our heritage. So the responsibility of the leader is to highlight those positive aspects, not just all the time. We look at the negative aspects, because our responsibility is also to educate, to entertain, and also to inform our people, and to set an agenda for national development.
And the listener or the viewer.
And prepare the positive aspects.
All right. I hear we must wrap things up. Jide, thank you very kindly for being here. But Wale, today is traditionally Boxing Day.
Yeah.
The second day of Christmas.
Yes.
Once again, Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas to viewers.
And I want to say that Nigerians should spend the rest of the holiday season giving to the needy. In Benue, there are so many people in need, those IDPs. I've been told there are 8 official IDP camps and at least 10 unofficial. So more than 2.5 million IDPs. So these people need help. They need help. Wherever IDPs are, they are refugees within their country. We need to support them.
Oh boy, oh boy. All right, we are out of here, but not before thanking you for your time. If you missed this particular edition, join us later tonight at 11. And of course, don't forget to team up with us on a Sunday where we expand the fare for you from 1:30 to 3:30. For now, from the Backroom Boys, we are saying happy holiday, bless you. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Citizen Jones. Bye-bye now.
My name is Femi Adebayo. This holiday season, StarTimes is taking us to a better level. You can step up your family entertainment with the Star Times upgrade promo. You recharge 2 months on Nova Bouquet and get upgraded to Basic or Smart Bouquet. Recharge 2 months on Basic or Smart Bouquet, you get upgraded to Classic or Super Bouquet. And if you recharge 2 months on Classic or Super Bouquet, you get 10 days free on your subscription. This upgrade automatically qualifies you for a weekly draw to win 55-inch smart TV, PA systems, home appliances, and more. These prizes are proudly sponsored by Longreach, Wayon, and Amaz. This promo is from the 15th November to 15th January 2023. Times and conditions apply. On Star Times, every day is the best day ever. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Star Times. Entertain your family.
Never miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
Every 1 hour, 86 migrants enter Lagos State. It is a beehive of activities. Every second counts in this city that never goes to sleep. There is always something to talk about. We go the extra mile to tell the story of Africa's 5th largest economy. We track happenings on land, on waterways, and in the air. We go against all odds to ensure that you are heard.
25% of the entire spread of Lagos is covered with water.
I'm Adedonja. I live in Lagos.
The story of sport is often told in numbers. We don't idolize a 6th round knockout. We don't dream of growing up to be 3-1. Discover the human stories that give